LestatYGO here. Hope you guys are doing well. Today I'm going to be profiling my Vampire Ghost Fusion deck. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. I always enjoy interacting with you. And please consider subscribing for more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh content. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. First, we're playing triple copies of Vampire Familiar. This is going to be your Vampire Monster Searcher. We're playing triple copies of Vampire Retainer. This is going to be your Vampire Spell and Trap Searcher. We're playing triple copies of Vampire Ghost. This is going to be one of your primary starters. You could pitch your Retainer or Familiar from hand to the graveyard, add your Vampire Grace to hand, and then send a Retainer or Familiar from your deck to the graveyard, opposite of what you pitched for the initial cost. Also, you could banish a ghost from your graveyard to get an additional normal summon for a vampire monster. You play one copy of Shadow Vampire, which can special summon a vampire monster from your deck. Primarily your Scarlet, which can revive a vampire monster from your graveyard. We're playing one copy of Vampire Grace. If a level 5 or higher zombie monster is summoned due to a zombie monster effect, you can pay 2,000 to revive this monster from your graveyard, so it's a nice little extender. We're playing triple copies of the Rotting Phoenix. It's a level 4 tuner to help you go into your Psychic Punisher plays. Also, if you control a zombie monster, you can free summon this card from your hand. We're playing one copy of Doom King, which can revive itself during the standby phase. It has a neat negation and removal effect. We're playing one copy of Eldritch the Golden Lord. And we're playing one copy of Ghost Sleeper, the Underworld Princess. If this card's sent to the graveyard, you could add one Ghost Fusion from deck to hand. Speaking of, we're playing one copy of Ghost Fusion. You can send materials from the field to the graveyard in order to fusion summon for a zombie. Unless your life points are lower than your opponent's, which they will be because you have to pay life points to activate the effects of vampires. But continuing on, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you could banish materials from your deck and graveyard. We're playing triple copies of Imseti, one copy of the Blessing of Horus, one copy of Happy, the Guidance of Horus, and triple copies of the King's Sarcophagus. We're playing the Horus cards for our vampire zombie plays. That way we can feel our graveyard, and also they'll enable our Hope Harbinger play. We're playing triple copies of Vampire's Domain, which can grant us an additional summon for a vampire monster. One copy of Vampire Desire, which is pretty much a Foolish Burial. Speaking of, we're playing one copy of Foolish Burial. Triple copies of Curse of the Ancient Turtle. You could banish a zombie monster from your hand to send a zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. So it's a neat way to get your Doom King or your Familiar or Retainer into graveyard. We're playing triple copies of Delta of Invitation. When this card is activated, you can send a level 5 or higher zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. Usually I send it Eldritch, because Eldritch could use its effect to send a spell or trap to grave, to add itself back to hand and free summon itself. Not only that, Delta of Invitation could produce a level 5 zombie token. We're playing one copy of Terraforming to search Delta of Invitation. And last but not least, for the main deck, we're playing one copy of Vampire Domination, which is pretty much your Solemn Judgment. Getting into the extra deck, we're playing one copy of Eldritch the Mad Golden Lord. Unaffected by your opponent's card effects and cannot be destroyed by battle. And then once per turn, you contribute a monster. Take control of an opponent's monster. Vampires like to use your opponent's monsters as material to help go into their links and Xyz monsters, which is really nice. So it kind of goes with the strategy of the deck. For generic fusions, we're playing one copy of Dragon Necro, Netherworld Dragon, Garura, the Wings of Renaissance. We're playing one copy of Crimson Knight, which can help steal your opponent's monsters. Same with Vampire Sheridan. Plus, you could detach a material to send an opponent's card from field to graveyard. You play one copy of the Zombie Vampire. Again, you can mill cards from both players' decks to the graveyard, and if you happen to mill a monster, you can special summon it to your side of the field. Hope Harbinger for the spell negate. 1 copy of Super Star Slayer Typhoon Star Crisis, just generic Xyz support. 1 copy of Psychic End Punisher. We don't really go into synchros that much, but this is an option if you need it. 1 copy of Relinquished Anima. Again, you could use your familiar to go into this and steal your opponent's monsters. Vampires like to use your opponent's monsters in order to Xyz and link summon. 1 copy of SP Little Knight for removal. 1 copy of Vampire Sucker. You can use your opponent's zombie monsters in order to tribute summon, plus every time you revive from the graveyard you get to draw a card. 1 copy of Vampire Fascinator. Again, you can steal your opponent's monsters in order to link climb. We're playing 1 copy of Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. If you use a level 7 or higher monster as link material, this card cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. And plus it gets additional effects whenever it battles. And last but not least, we're playing 1 copy of Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. You can use an opponent's monster as link material to go into this, and whenever this is summoned, you can shut down your opponent's activated effects, as well as prevent a special summon from the graveyard. This concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. I always enjoy interacting with you, and please consider subscribing for more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh content. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and upload. And until next time, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.